Ron's opinion don't matter on the OG network. Hopefully, y'all having a blessed, wonderful day. Hopefully, all is well with y'all. And God is good. God is good. God is good. Just trying to figure out something right now. Give me a second because I'm having issues. Yeah. Yeah. What in the world is going on here? But anyway, how's y'all day going? How y'all feeling today? How's everything working out for y'all? Just trying to get to um, my actual page, and it's not letting me there. And I don't know why. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, but anyway, all good. All is good. Um, Hopefully, y'all again having a blessed, wonderful day. Just trying to situate myself here so I can get up and have the chat on. I'm chilling. What y'all up to? What y'all up to? It's a lot earlier than normally I would do my lives. I usually pop in around 10 o'clock. But last couple of days have been a little bit of scheduling things. Some things have changed a little bit just for a couple of days, so I haven't had a chance. I didn't even get a chance to do my early morning live. Probably not gonna be here too long today. Just wanted to come in and give us a chance to talk about things if y'all want to talk about it. Y'all know how I am. Couple of things that we do have coming up on the OG network. Tomorrow, which is we switched top to bottom Tuesday to top to bottom Wednesday. So Wednesday tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 7:30. I'm sorry, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The CEO of Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare will be on the OG Network, broadcasting live right here on Ron's Opinion Don't Matter, OG Network, and they make hair care products, they make skincare products, which I use all the time, and they also make extremely well made candles. And I buy their product all the time. And so for people that have hair care issues, skincare issues, maybe looking to purchase candles and stuff like that, they got gift out there. There's a lot of stuff that they have very good product, and I swear about it. They make deodorant, body wash, skincare stuff, hair care stuff. But the company is called Top to Bottom. Hair and skincare, organic. All of their product is organic. They don't use no toxic chemicals and stuff like that. But anyway, you will be able to come in tomorrow at 7:30 if you got questions about the product. If you got skincare issues and you need someone to walk you through some of your issues and stuff like that, you can check them out tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the OG Network. Ron's Opinion Don't Matter. The other thing is we still have our Fracker Show, which is on Sundays at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. But this Friday at 7 o'clock, we're trying something new, which is Firearm Fridays. It'll be me, my brother from the Fractacular Show, and Justice Runs on Diesel YouTube page. And we're going to just talk firearms, like stuff that we know about firearms. It's going to be a very range of subjects. So if you want to, if you're interested in just having a gun conversation, firearms experience and stuff like that, that'll give you a chance to come in that day and you get to experience, you get to talk about it. Yeah, Glocks, all that stuff. We're gonna be talking about different things. I'm starting that is because I want my audience to get a chance to educate me on stuff that I don't know. Now, there's a lot I do know about firearms. I have firearms and I have guns or whatever, but I feel like, you're only going to get the knowledge about firearms is to get a vast information from a lot of different people, their experience, what they like about certain guns, what they don't like about certain guns, what they like about certain firearms, don't like about certain firearms. So that Friday show is going to be mostly related around that. I mean, yeah, we might get into some of the legal aspect and stuff like that, but I just really more so I was leaning more towards just people's experience. Yeah, knowledge, exactly. I got some, but I don't have a whole. I have a reasonable amount, but I want to get everybody else's experience. I'm a gunhead, and I want to deep dive further into this conversation, experience and stuff like that. So my plan behind that is to give people that are part of my channel that come in that do have some experience in it, and to give them the chance to come on the channel live and talk about what they know, what they don't know, and stuff like that. It's not about arguing with somebody about who's right and wrong. It's just everybody get a chance to talk about their experience and stuff like that. I ain't hiding nothing from nobody. I mean, I'm in America and I have the right to keep and bear arms. I mean, I agree with they should not the government and stuff shouldn't know what you have, but a lot of time we keep on putting politicians in the way that they think they're supposed to have the right to know what you have and they don't. They don't supposed to know. They should not have any clue of what the citizens of America own as it relates to weapons to protect yourself from government tyranny. Because if they decide to go government tyranny, they need to be surprised of what you have, not know what you have. You're right. I agree with you, Jordan. They shouldn't be asking anything. Berg, I agree with you. 100. Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. No man coming to the Father except by him. I mean, salvation through Christ is it. I mean, some people have their argument. They don't agree, disagree. That's fine with them. I don't, that's their choice. But for me personally, I thank God that I have Christ in my life. Nowhere in the Bible did Jesus say we could have guns. Well, guns wasn't invented at that time when Jesus was alive. I mean, walking the earth. So why would it even say that? But notice, I didn't say guns. I said weapons. Now, if you remember the story when they came to get Jesus, what did Peter have in his hand to cut that guy's ear off? He had a weapon. It ain't like he went and got that weapon. It was already with him. So when you start to talk about Jesus, you have a right to defend yourself. I mean, now Jesus made a statement of, if you live by the sword, you're going to die by it. That wasn't saying don't have the sword, meaning that don't be your first reaction when something is about to happen. Meaning that you still have a right to defend and protect your life, and you have to have access to the best weapons possible. So when someone starts to say that, they don't get the point. Is he didn't say don't have a weapon. He said don't be so quick to want to kill or murder somebody. Make sure you're doing it for the right reason. If your life is on the line, that's the right reason. But don't let that be your first reaction. Sling was the gun. Slingshot was the gun. Yeah, well, I can agree with that. I go with that one. What type of guns are those? One of them is a 5.56 Chamberlain 5.56. Both of them are AR-15s. One is chambered in 5.56. The other one is chained in 458 SOCOM ammo. You have the right to get better glass and can. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. I appreciate y'all very, very much. And Dover Dogs Basketball said David and Goliath, which he's right. That slingshot was the firearm. And those are two biblical examples of why I don't use the word firearm, because I know guns weren't around at that time. What I say is you have a right to weapons. And if you look at the United States Constitution, it never talked about, it didn't say guns. It said weapons. I mean, it said arms. The reason why it says arms is because you have the right to bear arms means that it don't matter if it's a gun, knife, sword, tank, anything. You have the right to have access to whatever the best weapons you can come up with to protect yourself against government tyranny. And that's why in our Constitution, it didn't specify what type, because things are going to change. They're going to evolve. They're going to get better. You know, weapons going to come along, different weapons to use to defend yourself. They understood that. So that's why they did not write a specific weapon. They just left that part open. What's up, Simba? How you doing? God bless you. Make sure y'all hitting the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Appreciate it very, very much. Let me see. Dogs basketball. And if y'all on this live, please check out Dogs basketball. When I tell y'all that this team is electrifying to watch, man. Like if you go to my channel and you look at some of the games that they played and watch it all the way through, man, this team is electrifying to watch. So if you're on my live, please check out Dogs basketball. They are also part of the OG network. We get to air some of the games right here live on this channel, the OG network. Ron's opinion don't matter. So if you're a person that's really into basketball and you want to see an up and coming team that's doing amazing things, check out Dogs basketball. And then at some point they're working on it now, but you'll be able to purchase jersey. Like I have I got the jerseys, I got shirts and stuff. So, and they're a professional basketball team. No, they're not part of the NBA, but they are part of the ABA. But when I tell you they are exciting to watch play, man, it's crazy. I enjoyed that whole game. The last game, I enjoy all the games, but just so you know, for those that don't hear Dogs basketball, you get to watch some of their games right here live on the OG network. Make sure y'all subscribe to Dogs basketball because you can also watch the game right over there too, because we stream them on both of them at the same time. And thank y'all for that part. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Chips for real, how you doing? God bless you. Welcome in, welcome in. Please hit the like button. Appreciate you very, very much. Never give up, never surrender. Stay blessed. You're right, and I won't. And I'm not. Do they don't? Yes, they do. Listen, if you go, there's a short that they put on remix. I put it on my channel too. But there's a short where one of the players missed the ball and another player came right behind that and just tossed that joint inside. I ain't gonna say that was a dunk. That looked like he was a baseball player and just took the ball and just threw it to them. But it was exciting to watch. So yeah, Jordan. Yeah, they be dunking sometimes. We catch some moments where you catch them dunking. But they're exciting team to watch. I mean, I enjoyed that whole game, bro. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I like donuts. For those that know me, I like donuts. I'm eating them all the time. But but yeah, definitely check them out. If you want to get an idea of Dogs basketball and the story, if you go back to Philly Talk, he was on a live Philly Talk. He's the owner of the team. He was on live Philly Talk, but we've done other episodes with him on there, and he's the CEO of the team, and just getting an idea of what his approach, why he's doing what he's doing. So you can always go back and check the story out and listen to what he's talking about and what his dream and ambitions are, and you'll get a better idea of how he got to the point of owning his own basketball team. And we on the OG network and the YouTube family that we have built over here, we are so proud of them. But how y'all doing? How's everybody doing? Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I don't really have a specific subject I came on here to talk about. Jordan said, enough with the basketball, back to the OG education. That's funny. I like that. But yeah, so for me, like when we back to the conversation about the firearms, and Dog said he liked driving tanks, and I'm jealous of him because I never got a chance to drive a tank. Actually, I'm jealous of him twice because he shot that 50 cal and I never shot one. I'm the type that'll jump on the flight with a warrant. You got to catch me. ready to play. I'm ready to play, said that. You know what? Like I said, I'm cautious about stuff. And the funny thing about it is that when you're young, you're a lot more reckless. And as you get older, you tend to settle down. Not in every case, but you tend to settle down. And your priorities start to change drastically. The things that you would be reckless about, you now become cautious. And I think some of that comes from when you're having children. It changes your priority a lot of times, like, when the stuff, because it's no longer about you. You kind of think you, but you also think about your kids and, and stuff like that. And, what you went through as a kid to try to get to wherever it is you've gotten to, and you want the best for them regardless. But yeah, somebody said America last. Not in my book. 2824, he said America last. You must have got deported. Are you one of those people at the Trump administration caught and you got deported? And now you talking about America last? But we doing good, man. We're doing good. We doing good. We blessed over here, man. We blessed over here. He said America last. Not in my book. I'm America first, bro, because I'm American. Why wouldn't I want my country to be first? Because, hey, that America first benefits me. Real talk. But I get it. Like I said, make sure y'all hitting the like button. Make sure y'all hitting the subscribe button. That's funny. I think that's the first time I heard somebody come on a live in the chat and say America last. But hey, that's original. So far, that's an original one. Because usually you hear the same old stuff. And I just look at like, oh man, how many times y'all gonna call me Uncle Ruckus? How many times y'all gonna call me a sellout? Like, it has no weight. Like, it's, you don't see nothing original. So 2428, I gotta give them the credit. I don't know if you male or female, because I can't really tell, but I gotta give them credit. At least that's original. Up until this point, that's on my channel, that's original. Yeah, I mean, like the rest of them, I just be looking at, yeah, here we go. This is the 150th time they called me the same thing. Like, they really think that name calling, people calling me names don't bother me. I laugh at it because I laugh right along with you, because if someone don't know me, why would I care what you think of me? And even the ones that do know me and call me name, again, if it don't match up with who I am, why would I care? I can care less what somebody call me. When you're young, you kind of high-headed and you're like, oh, he gonna disrespect me. But as you get older, you start like, I literally was ready to fight somebody because of something they said. Like, what was I thinking? I'm not even blaming the person at that point. I'm blaming myself. What was I thinking? I'm ready to fight somebody over some word that's over name calling. At that point, I just don't care. Like, Dogs basketball, appreciate you. Appreciate you. So that's why I tell people, like, man, your life is too short to be arguing and fighting with people over silly stuff. And it is. Like, it's so many things in life you could be enjoying, but you choose to hate and have anger and animosity and hate to somebody. And most of the people that they hating, they probably don't even know. Never seen them. I never understood that stuff. How you coach somebody else to hate somebody else and you don't even know. Like, if somebody's trying to tell me to hate somebody, and they're like, oh man, I can't stand that person. Okay, that's you. You can't stand that person. I don't have a reason to not like the person because the person ain't did nothing to me. Why I'm not picking up your dislike for somebody. That's your choice. Don't put me in the middle of your dislike for somebody. And until that person do something that I feel as though warrant me not liking them, to me personally, I'm not picking up nobody else's dislike for somebody, because how they treat you isn't always the way they're going to treat me. There's some people that are in relationships and they broke up. And they're like, oh, he or she, they don't know what they're getting. And then they look at that person with somebody else and they treating that person well. And you like, well, they didn't treat me like that when I was with them. All right, well, they didn't feel that way about you. Obviously, that other person is worth the effort to them. That's why they don't. So you don't like them, but the other person seemed to be benefiting very well. So I mean, you can't, people, you can't determine someone just by that one thing. A feel good movie you always recommend. That's a good one. And I'm not really a movie person, but let me think. If there was a movie that I was going to recommend for somebody to watch, Facing the Giants. It's a football movie. And I think I got the title right. And it's called Facing the Giants. I love that movie. Like, if there was a movie that I would tell somebody to watch and I can think off the top of my head, it would be Facing the Giants. It's an older movie. It's a Christian-based movie. But that's the movie that I would recommend them to watch, is because, I mean, it's related to football, but the storyline, man, is very, very good. Let's watch the movie Democrats Are Going to Jail. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you say the Democrats are going to jail, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't believe they are, and I know that coming from me. Hold on one second. Coming from me, it's one thing to hear a noise about what they did and what they say they did and stuff like that, and a lot of it is actually factual. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think none of them is gonna go to jail, and that's just me. I just think it's all a bunch of bull crap. As much as I like what's going on right now as far as the leadership, that's the only part I can say. Until I'll believe it when I see it, I just don't think it's going to happen. I really just don't think it's going to be a whole bunch of noise and stuff, but nobody's going to ever be punished for what they did. And that's my thing. And that's why until I see it actually happening in real time, I'm good. And that's real talk. And that's it. It's called Remember the Titans in Your Country. Oh no, not the movie I'm talking about. The movie I'm talking about, I know what you're talking about, Remember the Titans, but the movie I'm talking about is Facing the Giants. But make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very much. Yeah, I just like I said, I just don't think they're gonna go to jail. I just don't. I think that's the one part I have yet to see yet. And you know what I mean? Like, as much as corruption in these politicians, and I'm not just saying Democrats, because there's some Republicans in there got some stuff with them too. But them going to jail, I have to see it to believe it, because that's all I care about. I don't care about the conversation no more. I want to see people go to jail. I want to see a lot of these politicians go to jail for the corruption that they've been doing over the years. I want to see them all. Honestly, I want to see them all. I don't care if they're Democrat. I don't care if they're Republican. If they was doing corrupt stuff, they need to go to jail. And they need to sit in jail for a very, very long time. Not this slap on the wrist stuff. Because any regular citizen that would have done some of the stuff that they're doing, if I was inside trading, like Nancy Pelosi, they'd be trying to bury me under the prison. Meanwhile, this woman is running free. All of this stuff they know she was doing. And yet she's still running free and nothing happened. That means that more people involved with that type of stuff don't want that to happen, because that means if she goes, they all got to go. So they're going to just let her run free, because she probably going to tell on everybody else. During Jim Crow. All right, maybe I missed something before that. So what do you mean by during Jim Crow? During Jim Crow? Yeah, I'm not trying to criticize somebody, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I live in the moment. I listen to history just so I kind of get an idea of what happened and why it happened. But I live in the day, current events, current moment. I learn from history so that I don't repeat or allow the same actions to repeat on me. But I'm one of those people that I'm not stuck there because most of the stuff that happened back then, none of the people are here now. You got to deal with the people that you living with every single day. And and listen, we all, if you melanated in this country, all right, let me put it to you like this: if you melanated in this country, we all know that, and we all got relatives back in that time period that went through that type of stuff. But my question to you and anyone that's melanated or feels strongly about that, what would you do if that happened today? The past is not right here, but I'm asking you a question, TJC. If that was to happen today, what would you do and how would you prevent it? That's my question. And I'm not discrediting what you said. My question is, if that was to happen today, what would you do and how would you prevent it? That's my question. It would be a massacre. The laws and policies that were created back then are still used today. That's why the past history is important to know and understand. And that was the point that I was making. I do pay attention to history, and that educates me and teaches me what happened then and what I need to do to prepare myself just in case they try to reintroduce it. So again, it comes back to current right now in the moment, because you're dealing with a different level of people today. So my question to people is this, is that, all right, so here's my point today. The vast majority of people, if you really look into the history, Democratic Party has been the party that wanted slavery, right? The Democratic Party is the one that fought for slavery. The Democratic Party voted against everything that would have given black people the freedom that they needed back then. But yet, black people still vote for Democrats. So if you're going to start talking about learning from history, why for 70 plus years we haven't learned from the history of the Democratic Party and still keep voting for them, by and large? And they still want it today. So here's my point today. The Democratic Party was bringing all these illegal immigrants over there so that they can get cheap labor. And then they make the argument, who's going to work the fields? Well, ain't that what they had slaves doing, working the fields? Who's going to do it for the cheap labor? Ain't that what slavery is? Doing it to next to nothing, in their case, nothing. So the Democratic Party haven't changed anything that they're doing. But yet, by and large, we still voting for them. The civil rights, when it was voted on, Republicans voted for it. But yet we keep voting for Democrats. So did we really learn from a lesson from history? No. Okay, you said Bisco said, look at what happened in on the boardwalk. That what happened on a large scale. I mean, if you feel as though, listen, and what happened on the boardwalk, I'm glad they did what they did in defending themselves. And that's what they were supposed to do. And I'm 100% on board with that. But my point is this, is again, no one's answering my question. That's not answering my question. Because in the United States of America, you think that 13% of the population is going to be able to defend themselves against 50% of the population. This is just my argument. This is just my take. Doesn't mean I'm right. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, but again, if you start to look at it from a numbers point, you're already outnumbered, right? This is in America. No, I'm not Latino. I'm American. Now, this is in America. So if that was to happen, and I'm not saying that it would, and that was the fight, how in the world what would be the plan to defend yourself against a larger population? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it would. Can win. But what would be your plan to defend yourself against a larger population? Because I'm going to tell you something. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in North Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia. And I'm going to tell you something. And I'm not saying this don't apply to everybody. This just applies to the city of Philadelphia. If I'm so busy at war with each other, and if for some reason they were the real enemy, we're too busy killing each other, how in the world would you want me? How would you come organize and come against another group of people if they had a chance to slaughter? If they organize and you're not, you already lost. If they're organized and you're not, you already lost. And your skin ain't going to have nothing to do with that. It's going to be the fact that you arguing and you're doing more fighting with each other than you are with the enemy. Why do you have guns in your background? Because I believe in the Second Amendment and I have the right to keep and bear them. And I ain't like firearms in general. I love firearms in general. So I enjoy them. That's why I go to the range. Whenever I can, I enjoy it. Ain't nothing wrong with having firearms. It's a beautiful thing. If you never had a firearm, you never shot a firearm, I suggest you learn and go do it. Then you'll understand why. If you never did it, I suggest you learn, get some training, go do it, and then you'll understand why. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Appreciate y'all very, very, very much. As a traveling truck driver, those numbers are off. They might be. I'm not going to argue with you with that. They might be. Their rights don't apply to you. Yes, they do. You can say what you want to say. Yes, they do. It's not their rights. It's your right. It's your God-given right. The Second Amendment is a God-given right, not a man-given right. And if you look at the United States Constitution, it's a God-given right, not a man-given right. And if man gave it to you, guess what? Man can take it away. That's the difference. It's not a man-given right. It's a God-given right. So why would I let man tell me what I can and cannot do when God gave me that right? That's the difference. I'm from Europe, and I think having less gun violence, it is not less. They just use a different weapon. See, this is where people don't understand how this works. Having more firearm does not make people more violent. And it does not reduce, nor does it increase crime. Guns by far prevent more crime than they do create. Guns have saved by far more lives than they ever took. They don't tell you that part. What they try to tell you, they want you to believe that somewhere along the line, owning a gun makes you a violent person. That's why they keep equating the two. I own guns. I have plenty of them. And guess what? I never thought about hurting nobody. I never thought about robbing nobody. I don't even think that way. The vast majority of gun owners are not violent. They don't think that way. When you're irresponsible and you're a high-headed person, that's what makes you that way. So if you're going to have access to a gun, guess what you're going to do? You're going to go get a car and start running people over. You're going to go get a knife and start stabbing people. So the idiots that keep thinking guns are violent, no, people are violent. Whether they're going to use a gun, a knife, or anything else, bad intentions is bad intentions. Guns don't make it worse, nor do they make it better. Because they don't have personalities. People do. Some will turn violent having a gun, right? Some will turn violent having a car. Some will turn violent having a knife. See, your mindset is violent. It has nothing to do with the weapon. So if they can't, first of all, you're not going to stop them criminals from getting access to guns. That's just the reality of it is it's not going to stop them. They're going to have access. But for some reason, everyone always tried to attack the gun, but they don't protect all the other violence that happened. Here's the thing. People, just as many people get beat down by fists and die. Just as many people get choked out like this and die. So when people are born, are we just going to start cutting off their arms and hands? So if people, again, if just as many people die by strangulation, so now are we going to just walk around and start cutting people's hands off? And that's where you got to understand. You don't let somebody tell you what you have access to and don't. So you're going to trust the government to be honest. You're going to trust the government who got all of these weapons, have been irresponsible with them across the board to protect you, and you don't have the right to protect yourself from them. Think about what I'm saying. You want the government to protect you who's been irresponsible for the longest. But you want them to tell you what you have weapon-wise to protect yourself against them, from them. So who's going to protect you from the government? If the government decided to right now to go tyrannical, who's going to protect you from them? Zero Earth, how you doing? Good morning. Who's going to protect you if the government decided to go tyrannical and let's say reintroduce slavery? How you going to stop them? How you going to stop them? Because what's stopping the government from reintroducing slavery right now? He said a gun is for shooting, a car is for driving, right? A knife is for cutting vegetables. But yet, listen, but people still take the gun, the car, and run people over intentionally. People still take the knife and cut people intentionally. And now all knives are made for cutting, and they do cut people. And guns are made for shooting, but they're not made for killing. But you can kill somebody with them. Cars ain't made for killing, but people get killed by them intentionally. Knives aren't made for killing, but yet people get killed by them. So again, it still comes behind, the responsibility is behind the person with the person, not the weapon. The weapon is nothing without the person. And that's my whole point. I'm not even really talking so much about just guns. I said weapons. Here's the thing. In America, our military is built off of taxpaying dollars, right? In America, we pay for our military through taxpaying dollars, right? So they can take your money and build an awesome military to defend the country against other countries. But you can't take your own money and buy the best weapons to defend yourself against possible government tyranny. Don't you think that's a bit hypocritical? So y'all can take my money and buy weapons, but I can't take my money and buy weapons? Don't you think that's a bit hypocritical? So I'm supposed to trust you to buy weapons and do the right thing by me, where I more so would trust myself, right? Don't you think the best person to trust in your protection would be you first? So you want the government, who's irresponsible, out there buying weapons to so-called defend the people from other countries, but who's going to defend you from them? That is the point that I'm making. Who's going to defend you from them? When they was talking all that COVID stuff, and they was running everybody in the house, telling you can't get food unless you get that shot. You can't get this unless you get that jab. You can't go this. You can't work on your job. That was government tyranny at its best. And a vast majority of Americans fell in line with that tyranny. A lot of Americans fell in line with that tyranny, thinking that the government had power they really don't have. But you gave it to them when you cowered down. When you cowered down, you gave them the power that they were looking to see if they really had it or not. Now, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people did, mostly in the cities. They bowed down to the government and obeyed the government like slaves. They didn't even fight back, mostly in the cities, ran by Democrats who forced y'all to obey them, threatened your livelihood to obey them. And nobody fought back. So when they start talking to me about if something else was to happen, listen, y'all didn't even fight back then. Y'all cowered down. So why would I sit there and say, oh, no, I already seen what it is. I rode through the cities and I said, wow, they really cowering down to this. Where's all that toughness now? Where's all that toughness now? Y'all letting these politicians making y'all bow down and obey them. They didn't even have guns when they did it. They just told you. They just said it out of their voice and you obeyed. They threatened your job and your livelihood and you obeyed. Like you can't grow your own food. Like you can't make your own stuff. You so reliant on what someone else do that you don't have the ability to do it yourself. That's why I didn't care. I said, y'all, no, I'm not doing none of that. No, I'm not. That's for everybody else. It ain't for me. And I never changed anything I was doing in my life. Why? Because because number one, the earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof, and the world that dwell therein. It all belong to God. It don't belong to man. So the minute you try to take my resources, I trust God to make sure I'm gonna always be good. So I ain't worrying about man feeding me, because God takes care of those birds. Don't they eat? So why wouldn't he take care of his children? So y'all trust government more than you trust God. Y'all rely and worship government more than you trust God. I rely on God, not government. I don't trust men to do right by me all the time. That's why I trust God. And guess what? Through that whole ordeal, I never missed a beat, and none of my livelihood never changed. And I took none of that benefits that they were throwing around. I don't want no parts of it. And I don't want no parts of it. He gave you a kick in the butt to help yourself. I mean, you want to look at it that way, of course. I don't believe God going to help somebody that's lazy. He'll leave you right in your laziness. See, the difference between the people, some people believe, listen, I believe in God. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. But I'm not stupid enough to say that God is just going to hand me stuff. I got to earn it. He'll open the door, but I got to walk through it. I got to get up and do. God did not make us to be lazy and unproductive. So if you one of those people that think, oh, God going to just pull it out the sky on you, you'll die waiting for that. God will bless somebody that's not serving them because they willing to do it before he bless somebody that so-called is. And I argue that with anybody. Government is supposed to be for the people, but there isn't. They're not always for the people. They supposed to be, but they ain't always for the people. If you look at some of the stuff the government has done for over the years, that's not for the people. Here's my point to that. When they started making everybody pay car insurance, they told you it was for the people, but it was really for the insurance companies. Making everybody have to pay car insurance by law was not for the people. That's what they spent. That's the way they sold it to you. but it was for the insurance companies, because the politicians, along with the lobbyists, was all investors. So they made that decision based on their own financial interests. And they do it over and over with different laws. So I don't trust government to do right by the people. They should, but a lot of times they do it. They do right by their own personal interests. When they was out there telling you to get that jab that they so-called said was free, and they said it was going to protect you, meanwhile, they lied all the way across the board. But Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and all of the ones that so-called made that vaccine profited billions and billions and billions of dollars. So was that for the people? Or was it for the lobbyists who lobbied for that? And the pharmaceutical companies who wanted all that money. They told y'all it was for free. But what they did was they took all your tax dollars and all that government funding, and they gave it to those corporations, and they profited in return. How did they get them to do it? Well, the corporation said, you know what, Biden, we'll pay for your campaign. Pfizer and all of them donated millions and millions of dollars to Joe Biden's campaign, and in return, they made billions. Was that for the people? No, it was for the corporations. But these are very same people that says, oh, they're looking out for the corporations. Well, y'all just did. Y'all did it across the board. When they shut down that government, when they did all that shutdown for as long as they did, they didn't stop the corporate. They didn't stop Walmart, did they? They didn't stop Target, did they? None of the big box stores did they tell them to shut down. Why? Because they're shareholders. Wall Street wasn't having that. The shareholders wasn't having that. You know who they shut down? Mom and pop. But this is the very same party that said, oh, we're for small businesses. Ain't that what Kamala Harris campaigned on? Oh, we're for small businesses. Meanwhile, y'all the one who shut down the small businesses. Y'all told them to close. Y'all not allowed to do business. We just going to let big business run. Here come the idiocy. Well, no, the insurance company is for the people. If you get into an accident, you will not be able to pay for the damage on the other car. Why won't you? Let me explain something to you how that works. If I keep my insurance money, right? If I didn't have to pay car insurance, I'm taking the risk, right? I'm still paying for it because I'm paying for it through insurance. So here's my point to that. If I took the insurance money that I pay every single month, and I invest that insurance money instead of having to be legally have to have insurance, let's say I take that same money and put it into an investment account that's drawing interest. And I drive without an accident for 10 to 15 years and just so happen to get in an accident. Why can't I go into my own account and take the situation? Because I've set that money aside. That's making me money. Now my money is making me money. See, that's what they sold y'all. Because that's how insurance companies make money. They sold it to you. The politicians sold it to you just like how what you just said. They sold it to you. We believed it and we fell into it. And the politicians went to Washington. They lobbied for it. And now, you know, we all paying car insurance, but we are all legally have to pay for car insurance. When in reality, that's why car insurance is so expensive. Because there's no lead to competition because everybody got to do it. But let them take that off the table. And you no longer have to legally have car insurance. Guess what happened with the cost of car insurance? Now they have to compete for your dollar. Car insurance prices will come down. And they will offer you more for your money. Then most people will be willing to get car insurance and not complain about it because it'd be cheaper. Now, if you're willing to drive around without car insurance and you get into an accident, that's the risk you take and you might lose your livelihood. That's on you. There is competition in insurance. No, it's not. You think it is because you think you got a choice. But don't you think for a minute that they all don't communicate with each other. There is not no competition. The minute you make it, I guarantee you this much. The minute you stop making it lawful, watch how cheap car insurance will go. That's the reason why daycare is so expensive. Because government got involved. It's the same thing with car insurance. You take away the competition and say you don't have to have it no more, car insurance will start to drop. Why? Because now they're going to start losing customers. When they start losing customers, guess what's going to happen? Now they got to come down with those prices and find ways to try to encourage you to get in car insurance. Because having car insurance wasn't always legal. You didn't always have to have car insurance. They went to Washington and made it law. But the way they sold it was to say, oh, well, people get into accidents and they not repairing people's cars and stuff. It wasn't that big of a deal. They made it big. It wasn't happening on a large scale. They made it look like it was happening on a large scale to sell it to Washington to get them to vote that way. And now we stuck with that problem. I know y'all don't want to believe it, but this is what happens. And you're absolutely right. Multiple states don't require insurance. So why is it that other states do? If you invest your money in car insurance, you can lose it when you need it. I guess you're saying you can use it when you need it. Yes, you can. But my point is this. My point is this. Again, if the 300 plus millions of people in America, I know all of those people aren't driving, but let's just say 100 million people in America is driving, and all of them have to have car insurance. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have car insurance. That's not what this is about. My point is that the reason why it's so expensive is because government got involved. That's the point that I'm making. It has nothing to do with whether you should or should not have car insurance. My point is, the reason why car insurance is so expensive is because government got involved. The reason why health insurance is so expensive is because government got involved. The reason why daycare is so expensive is because government got involved. That is the point that I'm trying to make. Government getting involved is always going to be the problem. He said, Glenn said, you don't need insurance until you get stopped. Sorry about that, y'all. I got to get that out. And my thing is this. You guys government, if you really start to pay attention, government is always going to be the problem. That's the reason why I always say I want government out of everything, because they're the ones that's causing the problem. And Brady, you might be right about that as far as the fees go. I don't know how to pronounce that Yesakar, but I agree with you on your biblical post. Always. I believe the Bible. You could hit the mute button. But that's just, like I said, that's my take on it. I just don't trust government to do the right thing by people. That's just where I'm always be. He said at the moment it's a problem because of bad administration. I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one, because I like the current administration because I see them actually liberating the people, rights back to them. See, that what I'm talking about has happened long before this administration got inside there. I know y'all don't understand what I'm saying. My point is, when you have an administration fighting for people to get their rights to keep and bear arms back, That's liberating the people, not controlling them. When you fight, when you trying to make decisions to try to bring down crime in areas where the regular, everyday, hardworking citizens are dealing with it, that's liberating the good people by removing the bad and the corrupt and the criminals. That's for the people. By getting people out of your country that ain't supposed to be there, it's the same way of getting an animal out of an area, a species out of an area that ain't supposed to be there. That's liberating the people, the citizens that you're supposed to serve. That's liberating. So for me personally, deregulating all of these regulations that they have been throwing around all around the board is liberating the people. Getting rid of all of these restrictions and trying to force people to drive electric cars and force people to get rid of their gas stoves and gas this and all of that stuff. And turning around and reversing all of that is liberating people and putting the choice back into the consumer's hand, where it should always have been and never been tried to remove it. That's how you liberate people. But when you have a government trying to tell you what to do all the time, you got to get rid of your gas car and drive electric car. You got to get rid of your gas stove and get electric this and electric that. Why? So they can control the electric grid and tell you what you can and cannot do? First of all, I didn't get gaslighted by anybody. I saw it. I'm an investor. I seen it. I don't need nobody. There's no gaslighting with me. I know what I'm talking about because I seen it. And my thing is this: if Trump was gaslighting me, right, and he was all for electric cars, why didn't he force it when even though Elon Musk was supporting his campaign, Elon Musk didn't get nothing out of Trump with that. Trump still did what he said he was going to do. Unleash energy. That's not to Elon Musk's benefit because he sells electric cars. And he told him straight up, I'm not for that. Let people have a choice. And now you see Dodge, Stellantis, and all these other companies going back to making cars with gas engines. Why? Because the vast majority of Americans, that's what they want. Who wants to sit there for a half an hour, 45 minutes waiting to charge up a car? And while you waiting to charge your car, 100 people then went and got gas and pulled off and left you. You still waiting. In my opinion, that's disgusting. I ain't doing that. That's not gaslighting. That's not gaslighting. That's just what it is. And here's the thing: the electric cars are still being energized up by gasoline. I don't know why Jews marry children. You say because of lust, and you might be right. I don't get that part. I don't know why would you even want a child? That don't even make sense to me. Weird. Why would you even want a child? As an adult, as a grown man, your job is to protect children. That's it. Protect them. I know that. I know gaslighting has nothing to do with you. You said Trump is gaslighting me. I'm trying to tell you that one got to do with the other. I'm saying the same thing you saying. One don't have nothing to do with the other. I pay attention. I'm a shareholder. I watch what these people. I don't care about what somebody say. I watch what they do. Brady, you're right. Matter of fact, it's worse. You ever see the people that be mining for this, that all the electric batteries and stuff? The average one of them don't make it past the age of 55 because they so toxically poisoned by it. Damn, the Islamic world didn't get protection for the children memo neither. Yeah, I know. Because they believe they be doing the same thing. So that's why I said they keep bringing up Jews, but they never talk about that because the Islamics, they be messing with children too. But anyway, y'all, I enjoyed my time with y'all. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with the brother on the live. Unfortunately, I have to go. I got to go handle my own personal business, my life. But y'all, thank y'all, man. We had fun. I had a good time, man. For all the haters and hatettes, the lovers and the lovettes, every single one of y'all, man. I don't care. We agree, disagree. This is why we do it. This is why we had these conversations so that we can educate each other and from one aspect and to another aspect. I got nothing but love for y'all, man. And even for those that come in here and maybe say some crazy stuff or say no, call me names and stuff like this. And I always say this is that I'm okay with it. I'd rather you come here and call me names than go out there in the street and say something to somebody else and you might not come back from that. So I'd rather you do it here. God bless every single one of y'all. And like I always say, man, in this world, you're going to need Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. And if there's anything that Ron's opinion don't matter about, the one thing Ron's opinion does matter is having a relationship with Jesus Christ. That is by far the one opinion that I stand on strongly is having a relationship with Christ. And with that said, I'm going to get up out of here. Every single one of y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. I'm out of here. Peace.